In hindsight, I probably should have done this before or in front of the other video that I rolled out the other day on the sports card show, but I figured I'd just jump on and kind of give some random thoughts and opinions and some of the things I experienced when I went there on Saturday. By the way, I'm traveling, so this is this is the Fairfield Inn. It's not my bedroom, um, so I went over on Saturday, and it's my first time attending this New York show, or the East Coast National, as they call it. And I guess it's moved to a new location, a little further away than I would have liked, because now I got to cross over the Hudson River to get there. So, but it wasn't that busy. It seemed, at least when I went there. And I guess some of the feedback that I've been hearing is that the show wasn't all that well attended, which is fine with me, because at the National, it was like, shoulder to shoulder at times with everybody. It was a madhouse. So I actually didn't mind having the room to breathe and the space to walk around. But one thing I noticed is that, you can see in my footage, that I focused on vintage. There was a lot of vintage there. And that's a good thing, because that's what I like. Now, I don't know if there was the same amount of vintage at the National, but because the National was so much bigger, it seemed as if there wasn't much vintage there at all. And this location, or show in general, was a little bit smaller, and therefore the vintage seemed like it was everywhere, which is what it felt like. But there was modern there as well. Now, I did, record a lot of the, the vintage showcases. There were some people that, they didn't want me to. I asked, they didn't want me to record their showcase, and I kind of thought, why not? And I was given the reason that it invites fraud, scam artists. I guess the play is to pass off either a picture or footage of someone else's stuff as your own, and try to sell it, like me trying to sell the cards I'm showing in that video. And I don't know what kind of idiot would fall for that attempt at a scam, but apparently it's happened. Or at least that was the reason I was given. And people were just like, I don't know. So fine. So as a result, there were a couple of really nice vintage showcases I didn't get on camera, like really nice pre-war stuff. But and probably the best stuff outside of the REA showcases that I think I ended the last video with. But as far as pricing was concerned, it wasn't unlike the National, where it was ridiculous in most cases. In the absence of comps, especially for hard to find stuff, I guess you just pull a price out of your ass and see what sticks. And even with comps, a lot of people were pricing stuff way over. I just don't understand this Dean's Cards strategy of pricing vintage. But I guess there's a lot of ignorant people out there, and maybe that's the target market. I did encounter, and I had to walk away before I said anything, but I was looking at one vintage showcase, and he had a mix of things in there, but he also had some somewhat modern, and one in particular was a Michael Jordan 90 Fleer. He had $300 on it, PSA 10. Now those go for like two and a quarter, $250. But this guy walks up and he's got this kid with him. He's like, "Oh, hey, why is this Jordan so cheap? Wow, that's really cheap." And I didn't stick around long enough to want to intervene. So hopefully the guy walked away from that. But I don't know where the pricing models come from. I know things can be negotiable. There was one dealer in particular, and I forget his name. I did comment to him saying, all the guys that come across here, you seem to have very reasonable prices. And he kind of was like, yeah, I know. There were a couple of cards that I took a hard look at. I walked out with nothing again. But I came across that really rare Ichiro, and you see it in the video. It's like a Topps Heritage looking Ichiro, 54 Topps Ichiro Yankees on-card autograph that I guess was a Topps employee handout at a Topps party, and it's numbered to 25. And so I like on-card autos, Yankees, and I don't have an Ichiro. I don't know if there's any of them out there that are on-card, or let alone sticker autos. So he was asking $2,000 for it, and I wasn't comfortable But I did take his information and I took a picture of the card, something I could think about. And then I looked at a T205 Christy Mathewson PSA 2.5, but right when I saw the price, they were so far apart from what it really should be. I wasn't even going to bother trying to negotiate. They had $2,500 on it, which was absurd. It looked nice because the borders were great, but yeah, I just wasn't interested at that price point. And then I walked away from it, and I'm glad I did, because in hindsight, after the fact, I learned that this particular dealer was a known scammer trimmer. And what he had at his booth was a 49 Bowman Satchel Paige and a PSA 2. And it wasn't unreasonably priced, I guess. If you look at comps for a 2, he had it at 3. And I asked what his cash price would be for this card. And he said, I could do no better than $2,800. And from an eye peel standpoint, it didn't really look all that great. I mean, it looked like a 2. It was probably your average looking 2, but little off-center top bottom. But more importantly, it had what looked to be like brown tape residue marks on the top and the bottom border, as if somebody like had taped something at some point. And that's the adhesive that kind of gave some toning. And there's like 2 little geometric, rectangles, top and bottom. So it looked like maybe it was taped at one point. No paper loss. But that was something I walked away from also. Beyond that, I really didn't, there really wasn't anything that interested me, at least that I could afford. Somebody had a really nice, I think a D304 Bruner's Bread Cy Young in the SGC6. He was the guy. He wouldn't let me record his showcase. He had some fantastic stuff. He wanted $13,500 for that card. He had a 33 Gaudy Ruth, the green portrait PSA 5. He was asking $50,000. So anyway, it was fun to look at the stuff, but it wasn't happening without a doubt. So. But all in all, it was a good show. I mean, I certainly would go next year. I do like the fact that it was I could drive back and forth without any issue, and that wasn't so big, and it didn't seem to be as busy. But hopefully they continue that. I guess the feedback has been so far that it wasn't well attended, and I could attest to that based on the day I was there. But again, I think some people were saying, I'm not sure if I already mentioned this, but the autograph guests for Sunday were much better. Maybe people were holding out to go on Sunday as opposed to Saturday. And I heard Friday was pretty busy. But anyway, random thoughts, on my trip there. And, I guess you could all file this one under, hey, who really gives a shit? Thanks for watching.